So I guess I'll jump right into it. We have a pretty busy agenda today. We're going to go over a few things about our Greentech Finance Solutions, answers to your questions. What are the differences between the different programs? Maybe there's some lenders that you're already working with that are in our program, and we can talk about how it'd be different for you if you were going through Greentech Finance. We're also going to cover some insights into the finance trends that we're seeing across the landscape and how we're using our program to make an impact on your sales. And then we'll go over the next steps to get started. So Greentech Finance Solutions actually spun up about 4 years ago. We conceptualized this program with a vision to bridge the intersection between distribution, solar financing, and installation. We knew there had to be a way to bring everyone together for a more efficient and profitable process. So we began 4 years ago with one lending partner and have iterated on the program since then, and we've kept building the program, and we've seen so much traction and success with the program that more and more financiers came to the table and wanted to be a part of what we're doing here. So as you can see, we're working with a good mix of multiple lenders and PPA providers. On our left-hand side, we have two main primary programs for residential solar financing. So on the left-hand side, you'll see our NDP programs, our National Direct Pay. These are our partnerships with Sonova and the company formerly known as LoanPal that recently rebranded as GoodLeap. These programs allow you could work with these lenders directly, and then if you were to opt into the direct pay through CED, you would be now CED would be getting paid at the same time as you, and it would reduce your credit constraints with CED. So it's an option for you to reduce the transaction milestone from your process and streamline things and help CED have more visibility into your pipeline. On the right-hand side, we have our Ensemble partnerships, which are generally considered slightly more strategic partnerships. And I do want to call out a quick caveat here. If I were to give this presentation to you again six weeks from now, I would probably be lumping these all under the same umbrella. So, you know, Sonova, GoodLeap, they're making some enhancements to their programs and processes to add some strategic value. And soon we'll just all be under the umbrella of Greentech Finance Solutions. But for now, the Ensemble lenders, that terminology just means that there's slightly more strategic advantage to working through CED Greentech with those lenders instead of working with them directly. So you're going to have savings on dealer fees. You're going to have access to exclusive products and pricing that wouldn't be available to you directly or outside of their program. You're going to see more approvals. Most of them have actually more inclusive underwriting for CED partners. So you'll see more customers getting approved when you run their credit through these lenders. And then, of course, because they are transacting on the hardware as well, and we're getting paid for the materials directly by the lender, you no longer have to worry about those CED credit constraints. And you'll also reap the benefits of accelerated funding as well. Typically, if you were working with these lenders directly, you may see some funding holdback until PTO or inspection is complete. In our program, you'll be paid in full at substantial completion. We also do have a number of new commercial offerings. So you can see there's a few logos there for different lenders, Build, Soul Rates, and Cornerstone. These are a combination of credit line solutions for equipment financing as well as end user facing financing, loans, PPAs. We're not going to spend as much time on those today, but if you are interested in those, please contact Connor and we'll put you in touch with the right people to get more information on those commercial programs for you. So just to kind of elaborate a little bit more on the strategic partnership aspect of Ensemble, we've always referred to it as a three-way partnership. Again, all these lenders, with the exception of our concert program, which is a CED exclusive, you could work with all these lenders directly, and the benefits to you, again, we really want to incentivize you to participate in this through giving you lower dealer fees, helping advance your cash flow, giving you those exclusive products and CED credit line. And the reason the lenders want to participate in this is not only do they have some reduced risk involved because they are now going to be dispersing some of the funds to CED and we have that CED backstop, but they get the value of working with the vast reach of CED's network. We have over 63 locations throughout the US, and we have boots on the ground in markets where lenders do not. And it also helps them get better visibility into their projects and what types of equipments are being financed, and helping their installers grow as well. Obviously, they want the folks that they're working with to have success and continue to write more loans. So they're looking for ways that they can solidify and strengthen their business. And then on the distribution side, of course, it helps us to get paid a little sooner, reduce our cost of operating, helps us add more value to you, and improves that efficiency. The other thing is we are now able to see some visibility into your pipeline earlier in the sales process. So we can, understand your equipment needs better, your pipeline, your forecast, especially in this time of equipment shortages and delayed lead times. The more notice we can have and the more eyes we can have on your needs, the better for you. So just real quick, we wanted to talk a little bit about how Ensemble works for you. As I've mentioned a couple of different times already, again, you can work with most of these lenders directly. And if you were already working with these lenders directly today and you decided to opt into Ensemble, your process would not change very much, or if not at all. Your sales team will not notice any difference to their process, to getting your customers approved, signing their loan documents, and moving those customers forward to, countersign or notice to proceed by the lender. Your ops team will continue to work through the lender's portal as well, with no change to their current process. The main difference would be if you're working with the lenders directly today and you're not able to access the accelerated funding, there might be just one more click of a button, but you're getting paid some money sooner in the process. So most folks are pretty excited about that. So at Project Countersign or NTP, as I mentioned, you have to still complete whatever steps you need to do with that lender to satisfy their requirements to approve the project. Sometimes that's just uploading your sales contract. Sometimes there's a welcome call involved or testing to a permit. Whatever it is, it's a little bit different with each lender, but we can walk you through that. And once it's approved, CED will have some visibility. We'll know that those projects are coming down the pipeline. So you'll just continue to communicate your material needs and your delivery timeline to your CED representative exactly the way you do now. And the only difference is they're going to now, put in a little date that shows up in your lender approval that your lender portal that you approve of that. We'll deliver the materials. We also have a bulk process in place. So if you're not currently job kitting or getting materials delivered on a, customer basis, we can support your bulk purchasing as well through a slightly different workflow. And then at the end, upon substantial completion, we will finalize the materials costs, which again will populate in your lender portal. You'll approve that, and after satisfying whatever other lender requirements you have to prove, installation, whether it's uploading photos or what have you, you will be paid in full, less those the remainder of your dealer fees and the equipment costs. But again, no holdback until PTO or inspection. You'll be paid in full when glass is on the roof. So just moving on here, we're going to talk a little bit, pivot into residential finance trends, some things that we're seeing in the market, and just kind of breaking down the different lenders that are participating in our program now. I lost my mouse. Oh, there we go. All right, so why use Greentech Finance? Chances are you're probably working with or pretty familiar with most of these lenders today. This snapshot is a little older. It's from Q3 of 2020, but it generally, the players are the same. As you can see, the vast majority of the loan and PPA market is participating in one of our programs, Sonova on the third-party ownership side, and then we've got Mosaic, Sunlight, Dividend, LoanPal now, GoodLeap, and then our own concert program, which is technically Interbank on the back end. So more often than not, how your customers are paying for solar and how other installers are financing these projects is through one of our partners. We're aligned with a significant portion of the market. These folks are experts in solar finance. So if you're also using some other, credit unions or state programs, they're great, but they're tending to be a little more focused on mortgages, car loans. They don't really understand how solar is presenting a savings, it's offsetting a cost, that there's an ITC involved, and it's reflected in their loan structures and underwriting. Most of these lenders have been at this for a few years now. they're tranching and securitizing these loans. So we're able to see and monitor closely the performance of these solar loan assets. And even last year during COVID, what we saw was there was a very low default risk. So some of the lenders actually have even lifted DTI requirements just to help that many more customers get approved for solar. All right, so as I touched on a second ago, some other market conditions that we've seen in the last year. My background, I didn't mention at the beginning, I'm on the Greentech finance team, but I actually worked for a lender, one of our lending partners directly, so I'm very intimately familiar with their business and how they work. And if you had told me when I was working for that lender in 2016 or 2017 that we would in the future be moving back towards 25-year loans and lower interest loan terms, I would have been very surprised, because at that time we were in a rising interest rate environment. Solar lenders were not as, certain in the risk assessment of the solar loan assets. So we had a big push to shorten loan terms and to raise the interest rates. So COVID, as challenging and difficult as it absolutely was for many people, some good things came out of it. The Federal Reserve lowered interest rates, made it very easy to buy down. We saw a boom in home sales and home improvement projects, a renewed interest in home improvement, and that led to an increased demand for solar. Again, solar loans performed very well. The ITC was extended, and so now we're seeing this huge trend back towards longer term loans, lower interest rates, and really just being able to provide that lowest monthly payment to your customers is really driving most of the solar market. But all that being said, one of the things I think is one of the biggest advantages of the Ensemble program is because we have such a wide range of finance products available, we can help cover all situations, and you can have, most of these lenders have a full rate card. So if you wanted a low or no dealer fee option, it's going to have a higher interest rate involved. Obviously, there's an inverse relationship there, but we have the ability to give you a full rate card so you can have multiple arrows in your quiver and serve all your customers' needs. So lower no fee products, generally you'll have the lowest upfront system cost because you're not having to price in dealer fees into your cost stack, but that will result in a higher APR and a higher monthly payment. We generally say that these are optimized or most appropriate for short-term payoffs and cash buyers and folks that want to pay it off the soonest, or installers that are competing primarily on system price, which is not as prevalent as it used to be. Buy downs, I think, are really great for folks who are new in their home, or they're looking to maximize their savings and they know they're going to be there for a long time, but they're most likely not going to pay it off early. They just really want the savings and a locked-in utility payment. So the buy down, even though you're pricing in a higher dealer fee into the system cost and giving them a much higher upfront cost, they're also getting a larger investment tax credit. And they really are going to pay the less interest and have the lowest monthly payment, and they will have the lowest total cost of ownership if they were to carry that loan to term. So again, you have different options. So as your sales reps and team are consulting with the customers and getting a feel for what their plans are, what their tax liability is, kind of what their situation is, you can have different offerings to help make sure you can close all the deals and give something to everybody. With credit unions, just going back to some of the comments I made earlier on solar lenders and what they've seen in their loan performance and how they've reflected that in their underwriting, you're just going to see more approvals. You're going to see higher loan amounts for solar. There's going to be a greater understanding of the needs of solar as a home improvement project and needing sometimes to finance other things like re-roofs or electrical upgrades or tree trimming and battery backup and things of that nature. And these are all fintechs that are going to give you access to a sales portal. So you're going to be able to do instant credit decisions, loan documents at point of sale. You can wrap that into your sales process as you see fit. Lower intro monthly payments. Again, these solar lenders, they understand that the ITC does not come until the following year, because if you have to wait until that next tax cycle to claim that ITC, so they're going to give you a lower introductory monthly payment to allow you to get time to get to that tax credit. And then the loans are generally transferable, which may not always be the case with an unsecured loan or some other type of financing it. So these loans are secured to the solar system itself. If you're selling the home, most folks are paying the loan off, but you do have the ability to allow the new buyer to qualify for that loan and take it over. So just wanted to spend a couple minutes on that. And then just sharing some testimonials here. You know, we wanted to talk about some of the feedback we've gotten from other installers. So installer number 1 here wanted to express their gratitude for everything we've done to help them be successful. In their case, they had their finance specialist, a person similar to my role, that worked with their team, helped them get the proper training. That's another soft benefit outside of the program than saving on fees and approving more projects. You're also going to get the support of our CED Greentech team. Myself and the other finance specialists, we've all worked for the lenders, we've worked for installers, we've sold in the home. So we have a really deep understanding of exactly what you're up against, what your challenges are, and we can help train and develop your sales team to overcome objections and use financing in a way that will be most impactful for you. And we also all have a physical presence in the markets we serve. So the lenders don't always have employees in the markets. So they may come out and visit sometimes, but it's hard to get them to really provide that local white glove support. So that's where we're layering in with our Greentech finance team and helping provide more value to you in that way as well. Installer 2 mentioned, you know, we've been a major contributor to the success and growth of their company, helping them scale. Solar is complex. There's a lot of moving pieces. So we're able to streamline efforts, again, get visibility into your pipeline in this time of delayed shipments and material shortages. This just really helps us prioritize our key accounts and make sure we have what you need when you need it. So if you're all fired up from this and pretty excited to get going, you might be wondering what's required, what are the next steps? So if you're not already set up with the CED credit application, that would need to be submitted. It doesn't mean you have to use a CED credit line, but we do, as part of our compliance requirements with the lender, send what's known as, you know, basically a credit reference. So that's we get that out of the way. We would do a lender application. So if you're not already active with the lender that you want to work with, there's a new onboarding process specific to each lender. And we don't have any exclusivity or requirements. You can work with whichever or however many you see fit. Their requirements vary, generally looking for at least 1 to 2 years in business. In some cases, there's minimum revenue requirements and a financial review, but not in all cases. There are some lenders that do not require that. Generally, all of them will want to see some aspect of your licenses or understand your relationship with your subs if you're not holding your licenses in-house, your insurance, your workman's comp. But again, exceptions apply. For the most part, we have something for everyone. So we can consult with you on an individual basis to understand your company's situation and which lenders would be quickest and easiest for you to onboard with. And then again, if you were already set up with a lender partner and you're already buying from CED and you want to explore the program and start opting into Ensemble, all you need to start, you know, the CED account, the approval by the lender, and there's a short Ensemble agreement that just says, you know, hey, I'm accessing all the benefits of this program. I agree to buy some certain level of my materials from CED in order to participate. So pretty simple and easy. We've got our contact info here. Connor, as you know, your local PC manager, and I'm based in Vermont, but I'm the East Coast specialist. So here's our contact info, and would love to answer any questions or if anyone else had any comments to add from your side, Connor.
No comments so far. We do have a couple questions. One that I'm not familiar with or can't provide a good confident answer is, do any of these lenders work with installers based outside of the United States?
Based outside of what?
Outside of the United States. So like an international loan, essentially.
That's a good question. Most of the residential lenders, I believe, are mostly focused on the US market, but I can find out, and it's a possibility, especially on the commercial side and the equipment financing side, that they may have some international scope, or Canada or Puerto Rico. So we can clarify that on an individual basis as a follow-up.
Okay, great.
Was that the main question we had?
Yeah, we also have a question about how high the loan approval amounts are, and if non-solar items can be included in financing.
Sure. Yeah, great question. In general, most of the lenders will approve up to $100,000. Some go a little higher, like the 130 range. Most with the underwriting criteria we see in general, if your customer is going to get approved, they're at least going to get approved for enough to go solar. So at least, you know, $30,000 to $50,000 on the low end. And then in terms of financing non-solar objects, all lenders have their own little nuances, but in general, most of them allow you to finance a partial re-roof or a full re-roof if it's considered required for the solar installation, as well as electrical upgrade, tree trimming, and things that are required. And then there are other lenders that will permit non-solar items to be financed as well. So depending on your needs, if you're doing some other energy efficiency upgrades or you know, mini splits or heat pumps or anything like that that you'd like to roll into your solar loan, just speak with us and we can point you to the right options so that you can have a simplified process for your financing.